Right, I'd like to talk to you about supervising the dissertations. And first of all, are there any pre-writing tasks that students need to do before they actually get started on their dissertation itself?
Yes, two big ones really. Well, I suppose they're part of the dissertation. The first is the mini proposal, which goes to the personal tutor. The personal tutor looks at it and gives advice and guidance. But then the student is passed to the supervisor and they submit a maxi proposal, which is obviously a larger description of the piece of work they're going to do. And we see them at that point to talk about the direction forward with the proposal.
Okay. And how much of the students' writing do you look at during the supervision process while they're writing up their actual dissertation?
Varies across the university. Different departments have different practices. Our department, up till now, has always been able to offer looking at the full draft of the dissertation. We do it in two batches, so in the autumn term we look at the literature review in the introduction, and in the spring term we look at the rest. And students submit drafts of those chapters, we give feedback and they revise them in the light of that, and that feeds into the final version.
So they're allowed to submit a draft of every chapter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
One draft of every chapter.
Right, yes. Yeah. And how often do you expect to actually see them?
Varies a bit. Might necessarily see them, but there could be email contact. A student might just email and say, I'm having problems with this, what do you suggest? Not a huge amount of contact face to face, except of course obviously after those drafts when we have meetings to go over them, or if there's a particular problem, part of the research design or something like that. So it's hard to say how often.
Okay.
As needed really, but not huge amounts of time. It is an independent piece of study. Students are supposed to pick up the ball and run with it.
Right, okay. And as a supervisor, what are the kinds of things you see in the first drafts that you feel you want to comment on for improvement?
Yes, it's things like organisation, depth. If we get given a full draft, we can actually be really useful, I think, at that stage and make some really pertinent comments on directions to go, things to change, details that are missing. If we get a very short draft, and sometimes students are rushing and they're not able to give in as full a draft as they might like, they don't get such useful feedback. And I think that's a pity. They ought to try, if they can, to get in as good a draft as they can on those two occasions so that they can benefit from the feedback that we give them in order to produce a really good final version, which is what we all want to see.
Okay, so a proactive student uses you because they've already done the work before they come to see you?
Yes, they use us in that way, and also they submit work that we really get our teeth into and give them the kind of feedback that allows them to shift it up a gear.
Okay.
And to produce a really, really stunning dissertation. I had one this year that got 90%. It was lovely.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you.